And royal watchers have been focused on Prince William and Kate, but now Prince Harry is back in the spotlight. He's coming home after his second military deployment to Afghanistan. And he's sharing never-before-heard details about his mission and the mistakes of his private life. Mark Phillips is in London. Hey, Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Nora. Well, you're right. We haven't seen much of Prince Harry lately, and that's not an accident. He has been away at war. But the prince who can't stop making news seems to be making up for lost time. The warrior prince is all over the headlines again today, and here's why. For 5 months, Prince Harry has been living the life he'd clearly prefer to the one he's been dealt. There are no royal restrictions to his role as a helicopter co-pilot gunner on duty in Afghanistan. Here, he's the pistol-packing warrior prince, and his pistol is an Apache gunship. But even here, it can be hard for him to stay out of the headlines. Had he actually killed the Taliban, he was asked. The answer is ambiguous. It's part of the job, he says.
Presumably you have and you will kill the enemy.
Yeah, so lots of people have. You know, the squadron's been out here. Everyone's fired a certain amount. Probably a little bit more than this time last year to a certain extent. If there's people trying to do bad stuff to our guys, then you know we'll take them out of the game, I suppose. It's not the reason I decided to do this job. The reason I did this job was to get back out here and carry on.
The interviews with Harry were often interrupted as his crew is scrambled for a mission. Their job here is to provide cover for ground troops, and whether he's actually fired at the enemy or hit any is open to interpretation, but he does take collective responsibility. This is Harry's second deployment to Afghanistan. The first one was cut short when news that he was there leaked out, and it was thought wiser to bring him home. This time, a deal was struck with the British media. They'd shut up about it in exchange for a series of interviews with him that could be shown once his tour was over. Still, it was a chance to ask him not just about his soldierly life, but about his whole life. And there are revealing moments. Not quite as revealing as the strip pool game he was caught playing on a pre-deployment visit to Las Vegas. And here, there was something like contrition, if not regret.
I don't really want to get into details of what I think or what other people think. You know, at the end of the day, I probably let myself down, let my family down, let other people down. But at the end of the day, you know, I was in a private area, and there should be a certain amount of privacy that one should expect. It was probably a classic example of me probably being too much army and not enough prince.
Harry's self-image as a royal warrior was forged at an early age, and the conflict between the two Harrys, soldier and prince, is the story of his life. It's not one he's terribly comfortable talking about. In fact, he's not terribly comfortable talking at all, especially to a press he clearly mistrusts and equally obviously dislikes.
My father always says don't read it. Everyone says don't read it because it's always rubbish. I'm surprised how many people in the UK actually read it. I mean, everyone's guilty for buying the newspapers, I guess, but hopefully no one actually believes what they read. Which I certainly don't. But yeah, of course I read it. If there's a story and something's being written about me, I want to know what's being said. But all it does is just upset me and anger me that people can get away with writing the stuff they do. Not just about me, but everything and everybody.
And that mistrust of the press, I mean, how far back does that go? Is that something that's sort of
I think it's fairly obvious how far back it goes, to when I was very small.
Many explain the prince's frosty relationship with the media to their treatment, Harry and William might say their hounding, of their mother. Princess Diana was a media magnet, and we all know how that ended. Now, though, a soldier prince seems to grudgingly recognize he has a responsibility to be seen, especially in an environment that is, ironically, the most normal one he's ever in.
Hopefully most people will look at me just going, it's great to have him on board, great to have him wearing the same uniform and doing the same job as us. You know, people don't sort of hassle me. It's just a quick glance and that's it, move on. Yeah, I hope I'm doing right. You know, as I said, and as I always say, you know, work hard, play hard. I'll always be enjoying my job, and however long that may carry on for, then obviously I've got the other job to fall back on. So, yeah, I'll be busy.
And as long as Harry is Harry, apparently, we'll be busy too.